Uh, so today we are going to discuss about the second lesson on NFT marketing, which is Discord Masterclass Basic Discord Server Setup. So for those who are interested in trying to learn how do we set up this Discord server, which is usually the becoming the central platform for every Web3 NFT crypto project. So this is the masterclass wherein we will discuss how to set up, and then what which channels to set up, and then for the advanced strategies or topics with regards to this content, we will have another lesson for that. But for now, this is just the basic Discord setup. But then we will have an in-depth discussion about this one as well. So let me introduce myself. My name is Chris. I'm from Token Minds. I'm the community lead for the client's project. So Token Minds is an NFT and crypto full service agency. Then so far we have been working with over 100 crypto and NFT projects starting from 2016. So we have been working with some projects like, if you know, Crypto Blades, Gensukishi, and etc. So for their token sale and NFT drop. Okay, so for today, we're going to discuss this one as the community lead. How do I set up the Discord servers? All right. So this one is the most basic. Let's just discuss quickly on this one. Of course, you need the Discord app. Both it can be done in your browser or in an app. Then log into an account, of course. Then here, there's a button on the lower left. Click the plus sign and create server. Then create the name and upload server icon if you can, like for this example here, right? For a club community. Okay. Then just name the server and then upload. Okay, then create. Then voila. Uh, there's your server. So this is what it initially looked like. So it's kind of empty. So this is where we will try to create something out of it. So number one, you need to identify what are the roles that are to be added into your server. Okay, so what are server roles? Okay, so for server roles, these are like ranks within the server. So what do we have in use for these server roles? So we give user different privileges within the server, or even make them simply stand out by displaying these roles by adding colors to their names and placing them higher than other users on the sidebar. So it's somehow kind of becomes like a status, higher status, higher rank is better, something like that. And this can be utilized to limiting access to selected roles only. So for example, we want some exclusive stuff for exclusive members. We can assign them an exclusive role and then we can limit their access for that. So these are the different functions for the server roles, can be limiting access and then for aesthetic purposes as well. All right. So next basic topic is categories and channels. Of course, these are the contents of your server. So first, we create categories and or channels. So do we do this? So these channels are the ones you see here, where we see different topics, discussions, right? So simply you do a right click on your mouse on the channels column, and then you select either create channel or create category. So simply for me, I create and brainstorm these categories and channels. Uh, as a first step, I brainstorm and identify which channels do I need. Okay, so I usually observe if you are a beginner, you do not have an idea what channels you can add. Get to different NFT servers, crypto servers, and you can see different channels with different uses. So if it fits the bill, for example, if it fits what is needed for your project, for example, you can add these certain types of channels. Okay, but then later we will, discuss some suggestions that I have for setup of different channels and categories for your Discord server if you are a Web3 project. Okay. So okay, so every channel has its corresponding category as well. Like for here in this example, every channel is grouped. Okay, so this is more for organizational purpose. So as per our first lesson, we mentioned that we should be able to organize our server properly. So that is including these channels and proper categories so that people will not be confused when they come into your server. Okay. And then as usual, if you are fond of NFTs for a long time, you will observe that these servers actually, in the channels, we utilize emojis and text spacers. So like in this example, we have this line, right? And in this server, we have this period because these text spacers are used because we do not have, uh, who is that? Yeah, the text spacers are used because we do not have a function of space in text channel. So you cannot put some space in text channel. So that's why we use these spacer characters like a line or a dot just to put some space. And we utilize emojis just for aesthetics. So this provides a more professional looking server. And then of course, if example your project is like space themed project, alien themed NFT, for example, you can use different emojis related to those themes. Okay. So these are the basic ones, categories and channels. So now, what are the suggested channels by Chris from Token Mind? So if I'm going to create a category and channel, what for my NFT project, if I want to start my NFT project, what are the suggested categories? So here I laid out a summary, a screenshot. You can take a screenshot if you want for the different suggested categories and channels according to different views. All right. So I'll be discussing briefly one by one. All right. Okay, so here we have the server info, minting info on top of our server, right? So this one, server stats, we use the server stats bot for this one to generate just to count the members inside your server. And then we want that when people come to your server, as a project, you provide every information readily available to them. So like for this example, we put in the top of the server stats area, the website URL as well, so that if people would want to check what is your official website, apart from the official links channel, they can actually see it readily through this one. Okay. And then for general information about your NFTs, if example, I'm new to the project, how many is the supply of the project, how many has been sold already for the status if you're ongoing a mint, or if not yet mint, you can put the minting date for the reference of the people who are interested to mint, and also the price. And then you can also input if you have a limited number of whitelisted people, or whitelisted people who are people who will have perks before the public mint, so they can mint earlier, they can have lower priced mint. So these whitelist spots are relatively high demand for NFT projects. So these are the things that we can offer to finding community members and holders of your NFT. So we can provide this information on this part of the channels and categories. Okay. Then of course this is the most basic thing that you can see in a server, a welcome screen. So For others, before you can enter a server, you need to verify that you are not a bot. So there are some servers wherein we utilize this emoji. So they need to read about the project, the information about the project first, and then click on the emoji to actually come into the project and see the contents of the server. And with some, like for the case of Token Mine server, we required you to have some sort of verification. So we can use different kinds of bots for these functions, which I'll be discussing later. But yeah, for the welcome screen, we usually instruct people on what to do in order to have this access to the server by performing a full verification. Okay, so why we do a verification? Basically, just to avoid any bots coming in. Okay, so this is the first security gate for our server, because for some servers you can observe if you come into the server, there is someone already sending you a DM. So it can send you some spam links, scams, and some sort of fraud. So just to avoid this, we do not want bots, automated bots sending these messages. So we do not want them to come into the server in the first place. So this is how we have the first defense for this one, but we still have more, which I'll discuss later. And of course, the server rules channel. This is where we refer the people with regards to the rules. So everyone should be able to read this one. So definitely we need to craft our own content with regards to what are the rules of the server. Okay. So with creating these contents, usually I create this using embed functions of some bots, which I'll also be discussing later. Right? So it's not just the normal text, it's more aesthetically and professionally looking compared to the usual text when you send just plain text on Discord. Okay, so for other suggested categories and channels, okay, so here we have About Us, Roadmap, Official Links, FAQs, Whitelist or OG information, and sneak peeks. So this is under the information category, all right? So usually these are the reference channels wherein you can, if example you are a moderator, you can directly refer any person wanting to learn more about the project to these channels, right? So for the project name or about us, so you can discuss here the project information itself. So what is the purpose of your project, number one? Okay, the mission, vision, and also you can docs the team so that potential NFT investors or buyers of the project or future holders of your NFT would be enticed and be more confident to buy your NFT project, because they will see here what are the utilities you have, what will they get value from your project if they become part of your project, and then they can see here the documentation, doxing of the founders if they are really capable of delivering these things that they are mentioning. So you can always present this here in this channel. And in the roadmap, it's also good, though not all projects show their roadmap, but it's also good that they can discuss their roadmap as a plan, that a plan layout for the community members to see if the plans are going to progress from time to time, and then what would happen in the future for this project. So of course, if I'm a holder of this NFT, I'm also hoping, yeah, the team would be getting the milestones they put on this on time. So they can always see here also, you can also put here as a project owner can put here the updates. And official links, of course, there are a lot of people. Example, I have a project. I want to avoid scammers because some people send fake links to confuse members or naive users of Discord. So we've always, as example, in my community management team, our moderators always refer the community members to this official links channel. So this is relatively important, and for me, it's really mandatory in any server so that some people in your community will not be uh, scammed by other people who will be sending fake links. All right. FAQ. So if you want to save time, for example, you are the only one managing your community in your server for the meantime. So you are starting your own community, your own project. So at first, you are the only one chatting with everyone in the community. So you can save time answering questions, repeated questions, by creating an FAQ channel. So the usual questions that you think your project or your community will have during the course of its growth and development, you can always put in the FAQ channel, and then you can simply refer them, okay, please check FAQ channels, as the full information about this question are in this channel. So whitelist info. So some of you here have experience, when you come into the server, you see that the project is really hype and you want to be part of it. So the first thing you in mind that comes to your mind is, how do I get the whitelist for this project? So to save time also for the users or incoming new community members, you can always put up a channel related to this question. So how to get a whitelist, and then here, as a project owner, you can always promote the things that you want the community members to do in order to help grow your server, and in return you can give them the whitelist books. So something like this one will do. So some they do the engagement farming, but it's really good if it's more of, if you want members to be rewarded by simply contributing in their own ways, you can always put it there and not resort to strict, you need to get level 5, level 10, etc. So I think it's better if we put it this way. Like, yeah, they can contribute in their own unique ways, and we acknowledge them by giving them the whitelist. Okay. So another channel I suggest gives information, direct information about the project that we need to put up, the sneak peek. So if you are a new project, of course, some members are fond of checking out the artwork on your NFTs. So if you have this nice sneak peeks of your NFTs, you can always put it here. Okay. So for example, me, I came into this server and I saw this nice art that they have. I want to own it, not because of the utility, but because I think the art is cool. So somehow it develops and improves the marketability of your project by simply getting the sneak peeks up in your Discord server. Okay, so now we will be moving to the next suggested category, which is the news and updates. So here I suggested to put up channels specifically for announcements, community alerts, Twitter, crypto news, and NFT news. Then if there are some available information, you can also put up media coverage. Okay, so let's discuss this one by one. Okay, so for announcements and community alerts, so we put up these two different channels, but basically they are both announcements channels. And then for the announcement channel, we only want some contents here relating to the project progress and some special things you want the people to know about your project. And then here, if you are, an enthusiast of a very engaged community, so you put up different events from time to time. Of course, you don't want that your project progress updates would be overrun by this announcements with regards to event winners. So you create these community alerts channels for minor announcement things. So the major ones should always be in the announcement channel. That, when people want to see, okay, I'll check the announcement channel so that I can see if this NFT project or crypto project has some sense of progress in it. So I'll check if it's progressing or not, or if it's a dead project. So we can as a project owner, we should always show our potential investors that we have a sense of progress in our project. Something is always going on. We give them timely updates from time to time. So this is relatively important. By simply setting up these two different channels, we can make their life easy. Like, for example, I'll just check the progress in the announcements and in community alerts, the event things. And then here with Twitter posts, of course, we're not only utilizing our Discord as our platform for community. Okay, we also have Twitter. So if we want to directly integrate the tweets we have for our Twitter account related to the project, we can always integrate it to a Twitter channel. Okay, so just using a bot, which I'll also discuss later, you can directly integrate a Twitter account. So the posts will appear there real time on this Discord channel. So yeah, I'm thinking for some people here who are into NFTs, they usually see this thing. And then this one, media coverage. So for example, if you see that your project has been featured in an article, so you have been featured in, for example, in the news, in a video documentary, for example, which is really good because any publicity is a good thing for any project as long as it's good publicity. Sometimes bad publicity, but we don't prefer that much in NFT projects. So we put this thing that we see, for example, when we get to the news in this channel, so that they were featured in this article by this platform. For example, this is a platform such as Bloomberg or Cointelegraph. So these are relatively big news media outlets that people trust. So they will have some sense of trust also in your project because they saw it was featured in those platforms. So if we have these things available, if our projects were featured in these media platforms, we can always show it to our community members. And then here for because some people just when they become part of the community, they want to hang out inside their community. They don't want to go anywhere else. Why not make their life easier by giving them the crypto news and NFT news to make them updated about what's going on with the market? So this things like crypto news channel and NFT news channel that we have here also in this Tokenmine server can make your community members updated from time to time. So if they are, example, me myself, I am a trader, and then I see that the news is somehow showing some signs of bullishness. So it can guide me through with what's happening with the market, and then I can take my course of action with the trading part. So yeah, something like that. With NFT news as well, if you are an NFT trader, of course, you would want to see some news pertaining to NFTs so that can somehow give you alpha ideas or insights wherein you can use to make it as a leverage when you are trading. Okay, so the next one, these are the main community channels wherein people usually talk. Right? So number one, the first category is the community. So this is the public channels for general chat, memes chat, fan art. And then the exclusive channels are channels exclusive to those who are these whitelist roles, OG roles. Or if example, you are already a post-min project, you can put up holder channels exclusive for those who are holders of your NFT. Okay, and then here with wallet submission, what we usually request, for example, with pre-minted projects like projects who are still getting the whitelist people and then the OG people. So whenever somebody gets whitelist or their OG, of course we need to sign that up in our backend. Okay, so that their wallet address should be noted in the system that they are whitelisted or they have OG. Okay, so we need to get their wallet address through this wallet submission channel. Then, if we ever have any announcement with pertaining to this exclusive roles or exclusive members, so we can always announce in this exclusive channel announcements. And then for the general, of course, it's all anything under the sun. You can chat with people here as long as you're following the server rules. And with memes, we know that with Web3 crypto projects, memes have been relatively a trend. So we put this up as well because some people, they always want to create a meme out of the project and the NFTs. And sometimes even the people in charge, they create some memes out of it. And then also fan art. So we can also hold some events in relation to meme contests, fan art contests in these channels. So these are the suggested general content and exclusive content channels that we have for servers. Okay. And then here, utilizing because Web3 people, crypto people, NFT people, usually they are people who want to discuss things in general about Web3 with different people. So they, like for me myself, I've been enjoying discussing, having some nice discussion with different people. Okay, so we will be utilizing, I am suggesting if you are new to Discord or even if you have been using Discord like before, there is a new feature on Discord called the forums channel. So with the forums channel, these are the suggested channels that I want, and these are the things that I want to see in my server if I'm creating some forum channel. So suggestions, number one, of course, it's not always that, in a community, in Web3 especially, the feedback and suggestions of your community members are really important. Okay, so this is the channel wherein we can get the suggestions for improvements and the feedback about what they feel about the project and the server. So as project founders, of course, we want to listen to what our members would say and feel about what we are trying to do and on this project. So it's really vital to get these feedbacks through these forum channels. Okay. And then NFT discussions, of course, people would want to discuss anything about NFT in general. Then sometimes, if example, the project is already post mint, you can always put up a flex your NFT channel so that, for me, example, when I get a super rare art NFT or super rare high rank NFT, when I check on the websites for checking the rarity, uh, I want to flex it. So here we can let people or community members do that. Then you can also have some forum channels for gaming, movies. Depending on this community that you have. Okay. Here AMA questions. Yeah, if you will have an impending AMA, you can always put up an AMA questions channel and ask people to send in their questions prior the event so that you could, as a project founder, you could immediately check and assess the questions of the community, and then you can prepare yourself for the answers. So with the forums, the difference is actually how it's built. So it's built like an actual forum. So where in example, you have an idea or a suggestion. So I can create, as a community member, I can create a new post. Example, I want to suggest this thing. So it does not go down that much rather than the normal text in comparison to the normal text chat channel. So it can easily be seen. And then if I want to bump it up, I just chat again there and the forum topic will go up again. So it will ensure that as a community member, yeah, I am visible. My suggestions would be also visible because of this forum channel. And then for NFT discussion, some of the topics that I can suggest, for example, as an initial, are these channels for NFT. I mean, these forum topics for NFT discussion. So this can guide your community members So how to spot a scam NFT project. So as basic as that. Things to look for in an NFT project. So here, people will share their thoughts and ideas about what are the things that they look for in an NFT project. So to guide other members who are not so familiar yet with the world of NFTs, for example. And then here, what are the new NFT trends and meta that you observe to be cool and interesting? So these are just topics that I can suggest for these channels that we created, and just to show you the functions that that can be unlocked, the potential that can be unlocked by utilizing these functions of Discord for your NFT or crypto server. Okay, so not all channels are serious ones. So of course there can be the fun part in every Discord channel. So here we suggest the following categories and channels. Okay, so for some people they just want to hang out because their friend is in the channel. Their friend is always active on that channel. Okay, so we have these events and games channels, and then we suggest this normal or general fun bots that people always look for: the Gartic bot, Rumble Royale, the events chat, giveaways, events VC, and AMA stage. So for Gartic bots, other fun bots, these are where members, these are the channels where members can play these bots that I've mentioned just for engagement and fun. And then with the events chat, whenever we are currently holding an event, this is where you can chat and give them further instructions during the event. So they can also discuss here the event experiences. So yeah, I had fun. I nearly won. Something happened, something like that, and then they make fun out of it. So it further uh, improves the engagement and user experience in your server by doing this. Then in the events VC, for example, voice channel, this is where people can enter, like for this event. So we do a voice chat event. And for AMA stage, if you are going to do an AMA, of course, the difference with the voice channel is the capability of letting people to speak. So they can just raise their hand to get the mic, but in general, they cannot speak most of the time. Okay. So these are the examples for the Gartic bot from Royal, what it looks like. And then with the community games that we are holding, we're doing also in the voice channels, in the events, we see these things. People compete with mini games for the community that we have using different games such as Stumble Guys, Smash Cards. And then sometimes, if you want to spread awareness about the project, you can use the VC as well for interactive quiz such as Kahoot quiz like this one. So you can spread awareness about your project by creating a quiz out of your project topic. Then there's a new feature as well on Discord, the Discord activities. That's the rocket icon on the lower left. And then you can have these new activities you can do with your community. So if you want, you can test it out and then facilitate it as an event also for engagement in your server. And then this is the AMA stage that I've mentioned. Okay. So for the support, oh wait, yeah, for the support channel, so usually these are the support tickets, report scam, invite tracker, and ranking. So for report scam, yeah, this is where members can send out scam warnings. In someone is trying to hack you, or someone is trying to scam you. So you can also get the attention of the moderator so they can uh, person. And then here, support tickets. So usually I categorize the support tickets for NFT projects in two ways. So there's a support ticket made for people who are looking for support. Okay. And then some for collaborations and partnerships. So as a community manager, Hello? Okay, so for support tickets, call-up tickets, the difference is for support, these are the usual concerns that the people will have. It will be seen on a different category. So it will be seen on the support category. And then for the collabs, it will pop up in a different collab category. So that's why we create two different categories for this one. So the setup of this bot, I will discuss in the next advanced course. So we are right now on the basic course. And then we can also have this sales channel. So for example, your project is already post mint, and then you see that your project has been selling good with this volume in OpenSea, for example. So this is a channel where you can flex this sold NFTs from time to time. So it gives the information of the seller, buyer, price. And then, if example, I see that the price when I started minting is only this price, 0.18, and then suddenly it became 0.5. The next day it became 1. So, if you have not been able to mint, this can add some FOMO effect to the people, especially if they see there are a lot of buying pressure. All right, so this is actually helpful also to the project. And then, of course, these things would not be set up without your own channel for as an admin of the server. So, for example, me, I usually use this bot setup channels, admin moderator chat. Like I'm a community lead, so I have a set of community managers under my team. So whenever I instruct and discuss things about them with the server, since we're remotely located and working. So we can always utilize these channels. And then the filter logs, of course, you install some security bots, auto moderation bots, and then the results of this blocking, like when people's spam or people send some links, you can immediately see in this auto moderation logs. So this is where I put usually the logs of the bot. If someone did a violation of my moderation. And in the arrival log, so this is usually the welcome log. So example, when you come to the server, for me, I don't specifically like to show it to community. But you can opt to show it as a welcome screen to the community. But for me, I just use it as my personal log for people coming in to the server. And then this one, these are optional channels, of course. It depends on your community. So global language channel. So the primary standard of communication in the server is English, but then there are people with their friends coming from the same country who would like to chat using their native language. So we can always set this global or language channels for their primary benefit. So add this depending on your community, but then always check the demographics of your members through server insights function of Discord or by doing some community polls. Okay, so you can always check from the active members which countries are they coming from. So you can add their native language channels as well. Okay, so for the next topic, the permissions. Okay, so for categories and channels that you've created, of course, not all roles should have been able to access these different categories and channels. So they should have specific rights and functions on the server, right? So some permissions are as simple as allowing users to add reactions to message, while others, of course, like me, I'm an admin, and then I want to have another admin. So this role, I can give him an administrative action, but then others certainly should not be able to do that. And then these permissions, we can determine by the roles assigned to each user. Then we can assign a per role at the server level and at the channel level permission. So there are two types. So first, how to set this up. So from the current set of roles you have created initially, okay, you can customize the permissions using the following. So server level permissions, wherein each role have a general permission for whole of the server. And then a channel level permission wherein you disable some of these server level permissions on different channels. It's like it's like the specific permission for a channel. It's not the server wide permission. Okay, so to set up the server level permissions, this is relatively easy. So just click on server settings, roles, and create role. And then uh, permissions. And select those permissions. Okay. Then for the channel level permissions, right click on the selected channel, edit channel, and then select the role that you want, and then check the permissions. Right. So these are the permissions in each role. So per role, there are different permissions per channel. So this actually is a relatively long topic to discuss today. So usually when I set up permissions for roles and channels, I have this Excel file with me so I don't get confused. All right. So this topic and my suggestions for the server settings for the permissions would be discussed on our next class for the Discord Masterclass Advanced Server Setup. All right, along with the other advanced topics such as token gating, verification gating, setting up the bots that we use. So, for example, you are using a weak bot and you are not sure how to properly configure it. So, yeah, I'll guide you through with that on the next Discord masterclass for the advanced server setup. So, don't miss that out, guys. Okay, so we are nearly done. So bots on a Discord server. Okay. So this is something interesting, especially to those who have the basic knowledge of Discord but do not know which bots they want to use or they should use in their Web3 project. So I know some here like, yeah, I know how to set up a server, but I don't know what are the bots that, my project founder wants me to install. I don't know how to do that. So how do we do that function? So is there such bot? Okay. So yeah, good news. There are these bots that makes our life easier for managing our Discord and setting our Discord server up. So the following are the types of bots for Discord: moderation and security, music, social media, RSS feed, fun or specifically for games, and then utilities. All right. So these bots you can always check in their corresponding websites. But then usually I suggest using GG website to look for these bots. But here in this class, I'll be discussing the bots that I suggest for you to use for these different functions. So please take note. Okay. But then before anything else, how to set up bots for Discord server. So for guys who are new, okay, number one, visit a bot website such as stop.gg and then search and select specific bot function that you want, right? Then click the add to the Discord server or invite to the server, and then just review permissions. So with the permissions, just ensure that there are no. For example, if this is just a fun bot or just a stat bot, so it does not need any management or admin rights. So just check with that because some bots, especially if these bots are not official ones, they will try to hack you. So I suggest when checking out for Discord server bots, use those who are relatively known already in the Web3 industry or in the Discord platform or in the top.gg. There is a star rating there and the number of votes. You can always refer to that and see if it's a legitimate bot or not. Okay. But then here, luckily, we're having Discord, so I can suggest you nice bots security, for example, and other functions. So for me, suggested bots for moderation and security. Number one for me is Mi6 Premium. Okay, and we can always utilize the Mi6 normal one, but then there will be limitations in the things that you can do. For here in Token Minds, we set up the Tommy bot. If you can see it, it's actually a custom bot coming from Mi6 Premium. So custom bot is a function of a premium access for the Mi6. And then Dino is an alternative to Mi6. It's an all-in-one moderation bot as well. And good night. So primarily, I use these bots to avoid some, bad words coming into the server. So if you can see here, if you type some bad words, it can be blocked using this bot. So for Token Minds, as an example, we utilize here the Mi6 Premium bot. So I put up the bad words filter. So I listed down all the bad words that I know. And then I blocked it. So and then all the filtered words and violations coming from the members will be listed in my moderation log. So I see that, if someone is really trying to be nasty, I can always ban him out. And then also, if someone is trying to send links, I'm using this Mi6 Premium and Goodnight as a shield or security for my server. So I know some of you do not know how to, avoid some spam links in your server. The answer is, yeah, this one, Mi6 Premium for me. And also Goodnight. But with Mi6 Premium, I like it more because you can whitelist some websites. For example, twitter.com, facebook.com, I want to allow that. And of course, the website of my project, I want to allow that. So you can actually put that in the allow list or whitelist so that it would not block that. And also, if example, your core team members, your admin, your moderator should not be blocked when sending some links, any links. Of course, and it's under your discretion if you give that right. So you can always whitelist them also in the Mi6 Premium. With Goodnight, they cannot whitelist a role, just a website, so it's limited for me. So that's why I like Mi6 Premium better. And then, yeah, for verification purposes, so verification gating, I suggest the use of Sledgehammer or Pandes Guard. So for me, these are the good ones. So instead of just merely using the Mi6 Premium bot as a reaction role bot, wherein, to get access to the server, you just click on the emoji, then you get access. So I observed the bots have been able to go through this mechanic of security. So with Sledgehammer and Pandas Guard, you can set up like they can select photos and then they can select the correct icon. For example, it says that select the lemon. Okay, so you can ask them to select from the list. So bots certainly cannot do that unless they are so advanced. Then with Pandas Guard, the good thing with Pandas Guard is it can require people to read the rules first and then give out a message that they agree to close their DMs because DMs are primary route of scams in this Web3 servers. And then they perform CAPTCHA verification. So it's like a really strong verification bot with Pandiscard. So I suggest this one if you opt to this one. With Wick, this is the best security bot ever. Like it can avoid anti-rate, anti-nuke. So with regards to server rates, so the definition of a server rate is, example, I'm a bad guy. I want to sabotage a server, and I know their security is not good. I can put 100 or 50 bots in the server, or 50 members, 20 members with bad intention to spam, to insult, etc. We can come in directly to the server at the same time and then spam at the same time. So those actions of merely doing a raid, like being there consecutively at the same time, and then uh, it's a bot Usually the delay between the joins of each bot is just like a second or millisecond. So you can definitely avoid this rate thing with the weak bot. And then there's also the anti-nuke bot. Example, there's a moderator, you give them you improperly gave them the access to all things in your server, like to edit server, and then suddenly he became bad. No, he had this bad intentions of deleting some channels, etc., or some just banning people like 10 consecutive times in 3 seconds, something like that. So the weak bot can actually capture that with their anti-nuke function. So this is really a good bot as well. But then if you have not have the experience, if you do not know how to properly set it up, it can even ban even your core members. So yeah, this thing really needs some studying and testing before setting it into your server. So I'll be discussing this bot, how it functions in the next advanced course. Okay. So suggested bots for music function. So Hydra, Pancake, Lo-Fi Radio. So for me, I always use Hydra, but then sometimes people would love to hang out. There are a lot of people wanting to have their own playlist and don't want to have a queue. So yeah, sometimes I add Pancake as an additional bot so that I can play the community members can play simultaneously on different channels because there's usually a long queue if these are music lover community. And then with lo-fi radio, yeah, I suggest it as well. If you want like a 24/7 free radio with a lo-fi music, so you can always use this one. So bots for fun, mini games, the usual ones I suggest, as I mentioned, are Gartic Bot, Rumble Royale. And if you want some of these guessing games as well, you can use Hangman and Trivia Bot. And then for social media or RSS feed. So, for example, you want the Twitter integration directly to your Discord channel, or you want some NFT news, crypto news, or any news coming from any media outlets online, you can use this thing. So Mi6 Premium and Tweet Shift, I use Mi6 Premium uh, other than Tweet Shift for the Twitter. So for me, Mi6 Premium is better because it's just one bot all at the same time. And then Boto.io, this is actually a new bot. So we use this for customizing RSS feeds. So if example you see here in Token Mines, we have our own Token Mines plug. We also have some news coming from Cointelegraph, NFT calendar. So the RSS feed coming from their media platforms are directly integrated to our Discord server through the Boto.io bot. So setting these things up, I'll also discuss in the next course. For utilities, okay. So for general functions, the two options that I have is Mi6 Premium and Dino. But then Mi6 Premium is better for me. So the general functions that I'm referring to are the embed functions, leveling functions, etc. So for giveaways, like example, you are an NFT community, you partnered or collaborated with another community or another project or a group, we can give away whitelist spots in our community through this bot. So Alpha Bot is my bot of choice because we can have more requirements first, like example, join tweet, I follow Twitter, etc. before they can be able to join on this giveaway. So yeah, it helps us in the growth of our platforms as well. And then for better server setup, yes, you can see server stats. We use that for the counter of the members on top of our server. Invite tracker, yeah, if you are going to have a reward for people who invite more people into your server, you can actually make it as an invite contest event. You can use this invite tracker bot. Then tickets is the one I use for the ticketing system in our Discord servers. For NFT related stuff, Collabland and Matrica. So for Ethereum projects, mostly I use Collabland, and for Sol projects, Matrica. Okay. And then for Ethereum based, NFT projects for the sales bot, I use OpenSea Sales Bot if they are especially on OpenSea. And then for Solana based projects, we can use MetaHelix. Then we can also use actually Boto. Boto is a very customizable bot for both of these functions to perform as a sales bot. So it shows the sales of your NFTs. All right. Then, for example, you are a trader, of course, you want to check always the performance and the current price of the Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, etc. So we can always put this also as an option in our Discord server using the crypto price tracker bots. You just type on .gg, BTC, ETC, ETH, or SOL. So it will definitely show you these bots you can install. And then of course, in Ethereum, sometimes the gas prices are really high. You can always check the gas price using this gas tracker bot. So just search in top.gg as well. Okay. So it's exactly 1 hour, guys. So this is the end of the basic Discord setup course. So the specific, if you are, an experienced guy in setting up Discord, yeah, this is the basic course of the specific Discord settings, channels, goals, permission setup, specific how-tos, bot setups, and verification token gating procedures will be on the next course, all right, for the advance. So watch out for it, guys. Oh, so far, guys. Any questions, guys? Hello, hello. You can type in our voice chat channel, guys. Any questions? All good. Yeah, so if guys any questions, so if you have questions, you can always chat as well in our ticket or general chat. You can opt to do so. But then yeah, if you have more questions, for example, if you are a community manager or moderator that has been tasked to create your own server according to the needs of the project founders or the core team. All right. So you can use this as a starter. All right. But then, of course, for the specifics that will be tackled in the next course, okay, that I will be preparing for you guys. But then, if you have any questions, just let's put it now before we end our session. And I see some people type. Yeah, you can type in your question. Will this be recorded for future reference? Yes. This will be recorded. For lesson one, it's being currently being prepared by our
Yeah.
content
Guys,
team.
thank you for be patient. For the lesson one, actually, we also need to do some editing and make it looks really nice, right? Then we'll share it with you. So it will be like today or latest, tomorrow or latest on Thursday, I think. We will send that to you. And also for information, our next lesson will be around early next week. We are preparing on that, so we will make announcement then days before that as Euro. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think AA
Oh,
right.
wait.
That's the
Yeah.
question.
What are some essential rules for a new Discord server? Okay. So, of course, as a start of that, so you can check our rules currently that I've set up. So these are usually the basic rules that I put up. So number one, communicate in English because not all people know understand, like for example, Spanish, Italian, etc. But Filipino. Then yeah, make friends, have engagements, help people share insights, and then yeah, do's and don'ts basically. If you want the members to be more active by sending out memes because you are a meme related project, you can also put in the server rules. Then of course, number one in a community is respect. You can also put that thing. Always respect, and then no abusing, no swearing, no name calling, etc. No spamming, no food. So to also try to protect your project. But of course, if there comes a food scenario that arises, your team of moderators and community managers should always be able to uh, handle it properly. So you should be able to train your community managers as well for that. And yeah, no spamming, no porn. So if you are a porn guy, it's not allowed here. Yeah. So yeah, you can refer to the server rules that I put up on this Token Mind server as a start. Then you can, suit it to your needs, depending actually on your server. And then yeah, some of the things that can be blocked automatically by bots as well, like links, spam messages, and NSFW images, etc., can be actually done by some bots, which I'll be discussing into the next course with the advanced courses. So thank you for that question, AA.